How's it going? My name is Peter MacDonald. I wanted to document my stories. Maybe my grandchildren will be watching this someday. Hey, Justin, if you tell your grandpa that you watched his video, and he'll be like, give me a bag of croutons. I guess I eat bags of croutons. You'll be like, thank you, Grandpa, for making this video. So, in today's episode, here's the time I went on a double date in Lisbon, Portugal. So our story begins with two budding travelers who are about to experience the adventure of a lifetime. So we've got Brian Smith. Brian Smith is manly. He does manly things. He lives on a farm. He chops wood. Actually, I don't think he probably has chopped wood. And the other traveler is Peter MacDonald. And Peter MacDonald is, I'd say, less manly. He does less manly things. He probably still fights dragons, but like in a less manly way. Like he uses a pool noodle instead of a sword. So these two travelers somehow decided that they wanted to go to Europe, that was their pipe dream. So they bought a one-way flight to Europe. We're in Lisbon, Portugal, and we've been abroad for about 2 weeks now. And, we're getting kind of exhausted of our immediate social circle of the people we're meeting in our hostel. And so we want to expand that a little bit. And so Brian took on the personal endeavor. He downloaded Tinder. He matched with these two girls, and they were kind of talking about going on a double date, but it just didn't end up working out. The next day, Brian and I wanted to go pray at this one church called St. Anthony of Padua, which is, interesting because Lisbon, Portugal is the birthplace of St. Anthony. So we went to pray at this church, and on the way back, we got a pastel de nata, which is just an amazing custard pastry. And we took some pictures, and, that was the original plan. I just, go to church, pray, eat some pastel de natas, take some pictures, go back to the hostel. And on the way back to the hostel, we ran into these two girls that Brian matched with on Tinder, and we kind of hit it off immediately. We made plans to go to this place called Jam Club, and Jam Club is a bar that I heard about from this man who looked like Jesus. So I walked up to him because he looked like Jesus, and he was a little drunk. He was playing the ukulele, and it turns out that he used to study abroad in Indianapolis, and he visited my hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's kind of crazy. He's from Sicily. So we went to Jam Club later that night, and Brian and I we got there a little bit early before the girls did. We were waiting outside the bar, and that we were approached by this older woman who was very high. She would yell at us when we wouldn't tell her she was beautiful. You are the problem with this generation. I bet you can't even name the 5 Romance languages, and I don't know why she brought that up, but I couldn't, actually. I got that wrong. Anyway, I didn't know Romanian was a Romance language, but I guess Romaine, I don't know, lettuce. Well, Brian and I had this great idea. We kind of exchanged eye contact, and then we both ran. And we ran inside the club, and eventually the girls got there, and, things were off to a great start. The owner of the bar, his name was Joe. He came up to us and introduced himself, and he was a super nice guy, super friendly, and he brought us some drinks, and there was this musician playing music, and he was playing a lot of the Beatles and just some good music. His shift ended, and then he left, and that's when everything kind of went terribly wrong. People were bored, and they started to leave. Then Joe, the owner, came up to us and asking what he should do, because every person that left the bar he was losing money on. And Brian and I were escorted to the back room where he showed us a weathered old guitar. And Brian and I knew exactly what to do. So Brian and I, the first thing that we did was we started playing this Italian folk song, which made sense to us. We were in Europe, but no one there was Italian. No one there spoke Italian. And we were 1,500 miles away from Italy. We were in Portugal. But the people loved it. The people cheered and they sang along, and everybody was happy, and J.O. was happy, and we were happy that J.O. was happy. And then my date was excited to be able to help out too, and she was enlisted by J.O. as a waitress, and so she just started serving people drinks. And then afterwards I went up to J.O. and I scheduled an appointment the next day to come back to build him a website. We kind of saved the day there, and I'm not exactly sure why we got asked to play, but we did, and everybody loved it, and Brian and I loved it. We were super thankful for the opportunity to be able to entertain an entire bar. I don't know, that's kind of crazy. But we said our goodbyes to the girls and to J.O., and we met up with the girls actually one more time before they headed back to Nova Scotia. But that night we were very tired. We head back to our hostel to get well rested up for our next adventure, and you know, we all lived happily ever after. Thank you for listening to my story. I'd love for you to subscribe if you enjoyed it, because I will be posting more stories about my life. If I keep telling these stories, I'm going to inevitably exaggerate them or romanticize them. And I feel like now I'm at a good place in time to be able to document these and to accurately depict what actually happened. And before I either forget the stories or exaggerate them and then they become something that they weren't. So, thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Give it a like. Even if you didn't like it, give it a like, just because. I feel like that would be nice. That'd be a very charitable thing for you to do. Anyway.